to all of you. Some of you risked your lives, you know, some of you put up, I know the department put up a lot of stuff for people. Sometimes it might be me. But I think Zion appreciates all of you and what you do. So thank you. And I want to pray for you specifically tonight. Heavenly Father, I thank you for every one of these people who are doing things to help the city. And I'm sure they're not getting terribly wealthy for it. And Lord, I just pray that you would bless the first responders, the people that work for the building department, all of the city council, the mayor. Lord, I pray that you would bless them and their families. I pray that you would help them with the work that they do, with the lives that they live. I pray that you would answer their prayers and that you would help them to pray. That you would make Jesus real to them, but that you would give them your grace in their daily lives and everything that they do, as well as the things that they do for the city. Bless this meeting tonight. Help them with what they have to do. Give them grace and wisdom for tonight and for every day. We ask and thank you in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Item 4, agenda changes. Are there any agenda changes by the commissioners? No. If so, is there a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Stackhouse.
Second.
Second by Fisher. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Stackhouse?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye. Motion carries. Item number 5 is citizens' comments. And I see that we have some new names on registered for citizens' comments, so I'm going to read the procedure for public comments at city council meetings. The opportunity to speak to the council is provided for members of the public who have a comment to make about the business of the city. The city council appreciates hearing from stakeholders and values your thoughts and questions. The council strives to make the best decisions for the city, and public input is very helpful. The city must protect the civility and decorum of this meeting. It is unlawful for any person to disturb or interrupt a meeting of the city council. Please be respectful for the duties of the city council and the democratic process in your comments tonight. When you come to the podium, please state your name and address and address your comments to the council. Please limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes. Please be factual and courteous, and the council requests that you not make statements that are personally disrespectful or condescending to members of the council or staff. To the extent multiple speakers are addressing a single issue, the chair reserves the right to limit the number of speakers making public comment of a repetitive nature and or limit the amount of time for public comments. The city council does not respond to comments or attempt to answer questions during the public comment period. However, during the departmental commentary section of the city council meeting, if there's an issue that needs further clarification or additional information, we will respond at that time. First up, Tim Hestel. Hester? Sorry about that, Tim.
My name is Tim Hester. My wife and I have been in the city for probably 35 years now as a couple. I come from a second-generation citizen. My parents own 2 properties in the city. I currently own one of them. It was deeded to me as my mother passed away in a fire at that property. And that is the property I'm here to speak of. I received a letter the day after the storm. And I'm going to read a portion of it. I'm going to leave the address out. For now, it's stated. If you guys want a copy of this, or if you can get one, please. Dear Nora Hester, property is in her name. I am writing in regards to the above referenced property in the city of Zion. The following observations were made. Mind you, this was the day after the storm. The large limbs from your tree on your property has been broken off and fallen into a neighbor's property. You stop there. I don't believe that the individual that wrote this letter actually did a plot survey to notice that the tree is on the easement. I received this letter 3 days later after I had already been over to the property, and out of the kindness of my heart, I went next door and I took care of things. This is not the first such letter that I've received on this property. Or this tree, for that matter. I have no problem with its safety. I've seen bigger trees during this storm, newer trees, come down. I find this to be harassment. And I hope something's done about it.
Would you share with us who sent the letter?
Like I said, I'll give you a copy of the letter if you guys don't make one.
Sure. I'd love to see it.
I would think that the violation that's on it would explain it.
Okay. All right, thank you for your time, Mr. Hester. Randy Hudson?
Randy Hudson is my name, with 2600 block. I have been there for over 30 years. But recently, I have seen off-the-road vehicles, go-karts, golf carts, riding up and down the road.
Yeah.
And I just happened to stop. Individual that was on the go-kart, there was 2 passengers on there. And I asked whether or not it's legal to ride the go-karts on the street. And the ladies told me that it was, and that they had got permission from someone in the police department higher up. However, in order to ride go-karts, you have to have certain features on them, such as lights, brakes, signal lights, mirrors, and a placard, caution placard in fact. So, once I got that information, I went out and purchased me a placard, because I have a Ford, I have a UTV, and it has all those features on it, and I put the placard in fact. But I went to the police department, and I inquired about it, and they said that Zion residents does not have the permission to drive it on the road. Okay. So I'm here tonight to find out what is it in terms of what we need. Does it actually go against the ordinance of the city, or what can be done in terms of many Zion residents that have these off-road vehicles to operate on the road?
All right, thank you. Well, probably someone will address that at departmental commentary. Thanks for coming out tonight. Maurice Jones?
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank and give my appreciation to the police department and the street department, because they addressed some concerns I had in Cypress Park, and they came out and addressed it for me. So it took a little bit of time, but I understand that everybody's busy, so they did come out and address that for me. So I want to say thank you to those two departments. Second, I was hoping that you guys can do some updating quicker for us. I get a little confused with the council and the city hall meetings. One is at 6, one is at 7, something like that. But I looked up on the website for the meeting tonight, and there's no time for this meeting. Has the date, but no time. So I think some of us might need to have that little reminder of what time the meeting starts. And also, last meeting I came to, you guys mentioned large bulk pickup
Yeah.
event last Saturday. That did not happen. There was several of us out there waiting for this event, even though there was a little bit of rain going on. We were out there waiting, and nobody's out there. Hopefully, the police department can address this, because I did call up there and I couldn't get no information about if it would change or alter or anything like that, and it's not updated on the website. So if you guys can help us out with those two items, I would appreciate that as well.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Mary Lou Hildebrand?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. I'm here because I want to say thank you to Public Works, the Fire Department, the Police Department, and the Building Department. I was at church last Saturday when the tree came down across Sheridan Road. Public Works was out there very quickly. They got it cleared really quickly. They've been out. I've seen them every day this last week. When I was out driving, I saw them out doing. They worked hard. They were taking care of things. People can talk bad, maybe bad about things, but they were out busting butts to get our city cleared and get stuff taken care of. And I figure if somebody has a problem that wasn't taken care of, if they call Public Works, they'll probably get an answer of what can be done. The fire department, I thank them because there was a fire 2 houses up from mine. It kind of makes your heart sink a little. They were out there 8 hours because they couldn't put the fire out till something got there. Okay, and they stayed out there. They were concerned. They took care of us. All of our public departments, I am proud of to live in the city where we have people who care like they do.
Thank you, Mary Lou. Item number 6 is consent agenda.
Approval of minutes of the regular meeting held on July 21st, 2026 at 7 p.m.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Motion by Stackhouse,
Second.
second by Frierson. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Stackhouse?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor King?
Aye, motion carries. Item number 7, consider passing resolutions as follows. 7A, authorizing and approving a settlement with Sheridan Rd, LLC, for city attorney.
Mr. Mayor. Just wanted to update, this has been an ongoing process with the city of Zion and Siarm. We've come to a final agreement. I think we've discussed it, I presented to you all individually, so you all had a chance to take a look at it. So this just finalizes that agreement and closes this chapter of this issue.
All right. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve this settlement with Siarm Realty.
Motion by Commissioner Fisher,
Second.
second by Commissioner Stackhouse. Questions or comments by any of the commissioners? No. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Stackhouse?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor King?
Aye, motion carries. Item number 7B, authorizing and approving city staff to extend on-street parking for the Dungeon of Doom in accordance with the on-street parking plan established by city staff. Chief Barton.
Thank you, Uncle Mayor, Commissioners. We are talking about holiday season already, Dungeon Lagoon, holiday Halloween season, I should say. Pursuant to the approval granted by the City Council on September 16, 2025, which I attached, I'm requesting consideration and approval of continue the limited control on-street parking accommodations for GPT Enterprises doing business as Dungeon Lagoon for an additional 3-year term from September 1, 2026 through August 31st, 2029. The city recognizes the benefit to the organization and to patron safety provided by these accommodations. To further support safe and organized parking, staff recommends striping the designated parking areas. A quote has been received in the amount of $1,600 for this work. This continuation maintains the same parameters previously approved in closed session, or previously discussed in closed session. Limited on-street parking in support of the business's potential operational needs, ongoing coordination with city staff and public safety personnel to safe traffic flow and pedestrian access, implementation of necessary signage, enforcement parameters, and seasonal adjustments in the parking area striping. Thank you for your consideration, including also authorization for parking area striping at a cost not to exceed $1,600, consistent with parameters approved on September 16, 2025.
All right, is there a motion to approve the off-street parking, on-street parking, excuse me?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Fisher,
Second.
second by Stackhouse. Questions or comments from any of the commissioners?
So I take it that this adjustment that we made last year was very successful. It resolved their problems and there weren't any issues with it?
Yeah, the main issue, frankly, was the lack of striping on the roadway. So some of the cars came in and got a little cattywampus, I guess, from one another, and hence the need for asking for striping to at least organize what we're doing down there. But by and large, there was no complaints other than the parking lines not being present, so it's hard for people to get a good
Figure out where they should be and everything. Okay.
Otherwise, it went pretty well. We had no complaints from our RCSO staff that were working it. Our officers didn't have any complaints, and the business didn't acknowledge any issues.
All right, any additional questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Stackhouse?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor King?
Aye, motion carries 4-0. Item number 8, consider passing ordinance as follows. 8A, authorizing and approving pavement marking and parking stall striping services from Diamond Seal Coating LLC per Chief Party, also our acting city administrator.
Thank you again, Honorable Mayor and Commissioners. This just reflects the last approval made, and we're asking, we received a quote from Diamond Seal for just under $1,600. I think it was $1,550, probably. We're asking for approval. They're going to, if approved, they're going to go down there, they'll clean the roadway, so of debris, of any kind of vegetation that might be growing through the cracks, and then they'll stripe that. And it's approximately 165 parking spaces, if I recall. So it's a good amount of parking. It's going to cover quite a bit of an area, but we'll see how that goes this year. If we need to potentially expand on the program. I know that when I was talking with the owners of GPT, they had quite an influx of patrons every night. They were filling up that whole area that we were looking at. So we may see another request next year come in for additional parking, but I know that they're quite busy in this one.
All right. Do we have a motion to authorize and approve the payment marking?
So moved.
Motion by Stackhouse,
I'll second.
second by Fisher. Questions or comments from the commissioners? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Stackhouse?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor King?
Aye, motion carries 4-0. Item number 8B, authorizing and approving the purchase of software from Civic Plus LLC per Chief Barber.
Again, good evening, Honorable Mayor and Commissioners. In a continued effort to streamline, modernize, and make systems more efficient and manageable, I obtained a quote from Civic Plus for a comprehensive digital services update package for the city of Zion. The proposal consolidates and modernizes several core platforms that support transparency, public records compliance, emergency communications, and the city's premier public-facing website, cityofzion.com. The 24-month initial term includes a total net investment. Initial term of $49,000 is actually reduced from that. This was the initial quote. But I go with them now. $49,651.50 annual recurring services after the first year were projected at $37,635. This will not exceed that amount. If they came down just today, we're talking about nothing like that. The bundle includes 4 major components for your review. The agenda and meetings management, which is going to be what we utilize for the agenda, bringing together the agenda, the items that the department heads are going to propose. So that's the implementation. That will allow up to 10 different types of meetings, boards, approval, workflows, and do the minutes, It'll include the optional AI editing assistant tool, and then the year one cost on that as of right now is $78.50. Next request, PT standard plan, that's the public records and FOIA portal. Unlimited staff users there. We'll have 10 admin publisher users, up to 2 terabytes of storage. And it's a workflow for all of our FOIA requests. And it'll keep us in line and keep us legal on what we're doing as far as what FOIA and the transparency automations are. And I don't have all of the data. I can tell you from the police department right now, to date, as of today, we're at 725 FOIAs for the year. That does not include public works, building department, or city hall in general. The next one is the premium website design and related services. It's a redesign of the current website, hosting and security, Guardian Security, and SSL, that's our DNS, domain services and training. It includes developing that, includes a 48-month redesign of premium. And that, and then the year one net cost is approximately $22,358. And that's after all the discounts. And then the last component of this is the mass notification, similar to what we previously were using with Blackboard Connect. As you know, Blackboard Connect was discontinued several months ago. This is a very similar product to that. It would satisfy our desire to integrate all of these systems together. So the website will have a portal for FOIA, it'll have a notification option. It'll, as Mr. Jones mentioned, we'll be able to update our website internally, so we're not relying on an external party we send information to, and hopefully that stuff is updated, so this will be done internally by us. I respectfully request approval of the quote as presented, and have to answer any questions.
All right, is there a motion to authorize and approve the purchase of the software from Civic Plus?
So moved.
Motion by Stackhouse,
I'll second.
second by Fisher. Questions or comments from the commissioners?
The only comment is, this is a question I was going to ask, and I read through this, and I must have missed it the first time. So we can use the same software for building and zoning, board meetings, the liquor control, any other boards that we're running out of
Yes.
City Hall?
Yes, so it'll give us a platform for a number of the different boards that we have. You all will be able to, if you're on that board, you'll be able to use the platform to receive your documentation that you're looking at and potentially voting on, and then it'll all be done through a computer, so it's paperless. We're not going to have stacks of paper anymore. We'll get all that information, have access to the file, and then the community will be able to do the same thing if they wish to do something. They'll look in that file.
Will we be able to integrate or import township board agenda and materials into this system?
Yes.
Have you done a number? I see it says up to 10 meeting types. What we have today fits within that number?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I had a question about the terms. There's some jumping between 24-month versus year one net cost versus the 48-month.
So the 48-month is a website redesign. We would pay and basically it's integrated in the cost, but we're going to pay about $10,000 annually for our website. Currently, I'll notify you, we pay $23,980 annually currently for the same website. So it's a reduction in cost. Now, within that $10,000 that we're paying with this contract, it builds a refresh of our website 4 years later. So a couple things of note that are pretty important on the website. Keeps us within compliance with ADA, CJIS, and then it'll be somewhat interactive where it's something like Mr. Jones pointed out, something changes quickly. We're not just relying on Facebook posting things. We can do that, Facebook posts, but additionally we'll have very quick timing when we post it on our own website.
Okay.
So the 2 year, they gave us quite a bit of discount, bringing some of these, the first year costs down. It's a 2-year agreement, but some of the original cost was about $70,000 for all the software. They brought it down quite a bit, so it's about half of that. every other product they gave us with it was cut in half for first-year fee.
So I'm going to parrot that back to you. So I guess what I'm hearing is it's a 2-year term. Our cost out the door for year one is something slightly less than the 49,000. We expect that the subsequent year is going to be around 37,000. And then in year 3, we're hitting with a 5% normal increase.
That's correct.
Okay, got it. And then time for implementation on this?
That varies. The website is about 6 to 8 months. That's going to be the longest lead time. Everything else is within, they're being generous, but 2 to 3 months is what I think realistic is what we're looking at. We're going to start with FOIA. If it's approved, we're going to start with FOIA. That's the most important one. But then we'll work on the other ones.
I see you mentioned AI editing, so is there any additional hardware that is going to need to be purchased to access this, or are we using our own personal computers?
No, so the city's going to purchase computers for the board. If approved, we didn't purchase them yet, but if approved, the city will purchase laptops, and all of it will have access there, and then it will be integrated. And then the clerk will be able to use the device that will transfer all that stuff.
Okay. And then have we started talking with staff about who else is going to be admin for a tool like this, and then is that training included?
It is included, and we have not talked with staff yet, but I didn't want to promise them anything until. So
Got it.
once approved, certainly it's going to be the department heads, but depending on the module, the FOIA is going to be, again, FOIA is very heavy lift. So we're probably going to have, being that the police department has so many FOIAs per year, we're going to have a couple admins there, and then it's going to route through the clerk's office, and then the way the software works is it's assigned out to different departments, and each of those departments is going to be responsible for managing that. Now, we have support staff that fill that information, upload to that thing, but the admins are going to probably be the department.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Excited to see it all come together.
Yeah, with the website update for some of that to be automatic, number one. And number two, with the mass notification, this will be a better system than the Blackboard Connect. And some of our residents are here. We had a system for many years called Blackboard Connect, where we asked our residents to sign up for this service so that if there were any emergencies throughout town, you would get notification. And what we found over the last several years is most of those numbers were no longer intact. And getting people to sign up for it was absolutely ridiculous. So we've been having to, and we've been talking about this issue probably for the last 8 years of how to better communicate with our residents rapidly, other than Facebook and Instagram. For example, we did put the change about the cleanup day on our Facebook page, but not all of our residents look at Facebook. So we're continuing to try to find ways to get this mass communication out on an important issue that involve our residents.
So the mass notification integrates with the website, which is quite nice. There are certain legal limitations what we can do as far as what we can push, and it has to involve with like a safety security issue. We're going to continue working with the vendor to dial in how do we import the numbers and give people, because if you don't want private information to give it to the government, we understand that. So we wouldn't do that, but that's the challenge, is how do we share the information. But the background of this is, if we put it as seamlessly integrated with all one system, we post it at least to one of those, it'll replicate across the board. So the goal is, if it hits the website, it's going to hit, or mass notification is going to hit that, and then it's going to hit the website, and then we'll be able to do it on Facebook and our other platforms as well. But it's a challenge. We don't want to be intrusive to people's privacy, so we have to respect that.
Okay. Any additional questions? All right, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Stackhouse?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye, motion carries 4-0. Item number 8C, authorizing a lease with Electric Conduit Company for the use of real property located at or about 0 Green Bay Road for staging of equipment and materials per Director Ianson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Electric Condo Construction Company is scheduled to do a project with Township Edison along Route 173 Green Bay Road. They are requesting to release approximately 2.6 acres of the land located at Outlot A, pin number 0418108002, and Lot 8, pin number 0418008006, for staging equipment and materials. Estimate time of the project is approximately 2 months.
All right, is there a motion to authorize the lease with the electric conduit company for the use of real property located at Green Bay Road?
So moved.
Motion by Frierson,
Second.
second by Stackhouse. Questions or comments from the commissioners?
Just to zero this in for people who don't know the PIN numbers, that's the vacant space along Green Bay Road, just north of the, well, it's the Dollar Tree now, right?
It's correct, it's an outlet to the ball field.
All right, any additional questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Stackhouse?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor King?
Aye, motion carries 4-0. Item number 9, discussion, authorization, approval. 9A, consider approval of proposal from Northern Weather Makers for HVAC system replacement repair for, by Director Ianson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Due to the recent breakdown of the building department HVAC system, we proceeded with a proposal of Northern Weather Makers, our current maintenance company. Due to the time constraints of big requirements, staff is recommending a great decision requirements, we accept the proposal for $25,000 and $28,000.
All right, is there a motion to approve the proposal from Northern Weather Makers?
So moved.
Motion by Frierson,
Second.
second by Stackhouse. Questions or comments from the commissioners?
I guess just the one comment on waiving the bid. I know we've discussed that in the past, and ideally, that's not the way that we like to operate, but in times of emergencies, it's important that we get things resolved quickly. But I guess just to reference, like, part of that bid process is to protect, to make sure that, you know, we're paying fair market value for the service, and then also providing opportunities for local businesses to come in and have a chance at opportunities within the city. So, thank you for moving forward on this one.
Any other comments, questions? And also say, being here last week when the air conditioner was out, was a little uncomfortable for the staff. So thank our staff for putting up with the delay. And that's what happens when you have a building that's older. And we're looking at trying to find ways to improve it and not break the budget. So, all right, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Stackhouse?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Mayor King?
Aye, motion carries 4-0. Item number 10, departmental commentary. Director Ianson.
Thank you, Your Honor. A couple comments. The first gentleman, I think it was Mr. Hester, was it? Yes. With the letter, I was glad to meet with you at the meeting, take a look at it, take the pressure that's on the letter, and seek for clarity. And then regarding cleanup day, as due to the weather, we decided to reschedule to August 15th, Saturday, August 15th, at 12, same time, same location, 28th of Galilee.
Yep, 28th and Galilee. That's where we've had it since its inception. So,
We were just concerned about the weather and noise and scaring
all right. Director Ransom.
Want to speak on the storm we had last Monday. I got a couple of figures from the cleanup event. From the last 7 days, which we cleaned up from last Monday till today, with the 15-man crew that I put on, which was 10 from the street department, 4 from water, and 1 from maintenance, fleet maintenance. We had 840 hours of regular time, 180 hours of overtime. We cut down 15 complete trees and numerous brush piles, too many to even count. And then to speak to the fire that Mary Lou spoke of, the tree branch fell and snapped the surface on the building, which kept catching the house on fire, and it arced the water service as well. So we had a water service that split, and I did have a water guy waiting on ComEd 2 until almost 7 o'clock that night to shut the water off because we couldn't even touch the box because it was arcing and it was energized. So those are our numbers to now. I'm looking to have cleanup done probably by Wednesday, Thursday, tomorrow or Thursday. We should be completely done with the storm cleanup.
All right, thank you, Director Ransom. Chief Street.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. The only thing I'll take a minute for is, as some of you saw on your way in, the boat that we spoke a lot about over the last couple of months finally made it here. Purchase was made and it was delivered. It's actually already been on the water on an incident. By the way, the state will be reimbursing for that boat. We'll begin that process pretty soon. But it'll be out with Chief Campanella to answer some questions about it if anybody has after. I know it was daylight. We were able to put some people up the steps and on it, but apologies if you were hoping to, but I think as it's getting dark and the water's kind of treacherous, we're not going to put anybody up in it today. But please come out and check it out. Pictures don't do it justice to really how sizable it is. So please come and check it out. We'll answer some questions. And hopefully we don't need it too much for emergencies, but it's a wonderful addition to us and with the department's ability to respond to those emergencies on the water. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Chief Street. Director Bronson.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. First, I would like to thank the council for the support for the Chipotle groundbreaking last Thursday. The developer was very excited to see all the leadership out on the property. This was not open to the public because it was a construction site. Because it was a construction site, we wanted to exercise caution, so everyone who was on the site had to have a hard hat. And we didn't have 26,000 hard hats, so we just had to stick with what we had. But I did ask him when does he anticipate the Chipotle project to be completed. He's estimating in late 2027. So fingers crossed, we'll have Chipotle before Christmas. We'll figure it out. Don't forget, a reminder of the ribbon cutting for George's Restaurant at 10 a.m. tomorrow. George's is located at 3647 Sheridan Road. This is probably the closest you're going to get to New Orleans style food and this far north. So please come out and support. And then finally, just a reminder, the Zion Mid Labor Day is still accepting applications. You can visit the City of Zion's Facebook page for more info or see me after the meeting. And we hope to be bringing more ribbon cutting announcements in the future. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Director Bronson. Chief Barton.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Thank you. I think you're backing off the Chipotle thing. I ran into the builder that's doing the site work there in Meyer Construction, and they said that they plan to be done with the building by October of this year. They're even hoping to get the landscaping done so that next spring, when they start snapping it inside of the crowd, the outside of the building will look pretty nice and be ready to go with the summer and fall when it's ready for operation. I want to thank you for the approval on the Civic Plus. That's going to be a great addition to how we operate here. I say thank you, but it's a lot of work that I have to manage now. So, but I'm looking forward to that and what that does for us. And the importance of Mr. Jones, I apologize. I wish we could update our website. Even the things that's just the time on it, certainly if I had, I could do it. So I look forward to that in the near future. You mentioned, I apologize, I don't remember your name, sir, but the golf cart on the roadway use, that's been a topic of at the Illinois state level regarding legislation on how to manage that. So we could draft an ordinance locally here, but recently there's been quite a bit of talk about golf carts, TVs, and other micromobility devices that are e-scooters, e-bikes, those kind of things. And the state's really trying to grapple with how to manage that at a state level, statute level. So I know that there's the idea of having golf carts, and it sounds fun. However, there's no safety in a golf cart as far as side impact or any kind of other impact versus a vehicle. So I guess if there's anything that I would present to the council as far as the ordinance goes, we'll do it slowly and we'll definitely work out the kinks and analyze as much as we can. So thank you for your continued compliance with the IBC, but just understand it's a safety issue. Kids are riding around on golf carts without the correct lights or turn signals or other things. And then I just wanted to piggyback on the cleanup day. We had just cleaned up that whole block and we were worried, so I apologize
web presence.
You're right. So with the council's approval tonight, right now, we don't manage our own website.
Okay.
Once we sign the agreement with Civic Plus, we will be doing that, or I should say, I'll be doing that, some of it might be helping me, but, between the clerk and Solomon and myself.
Yeah, and Mr. Jones, we also, Zion has its own Facebook page, the city of Zion, as does the police department and fire department and public works. So as things are happening within the city, they are usually updated on those respective sites. Yeah. So thank you for the comments, and Mr. Hudson also, thanks for the question. The new chief would get to it. Director Wellendorf.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. We went live with our first velocity payroll on the 31st. There were some speed bumps, but we will continue moving forward. Everybody did get paid, so that's the important part, eventually. Eventually. It just so happened there was a money issue going on too, which had nothing to do with the city. It was really awful timing, so there was multiple things going on. But anyway, we are moving forward with audit. Got the audits now that that's rolling, and just catching up on all of the finance things. We will be starting the BSNA software implementation in September. We'll be giving them that to start really through. So hopefully, keep moving forward into 2026 with all of our software.
Thanks for all your hard work. We've been dealing with antiquated software for quite some time because we've been conscious about the budget and the numbers. And now it's just something that's a necessity for us to handle, to be able to communicate with our residents, also our employees, and have information updated more quickly than we could probably do it. So thanks for all your work on that. Director Mason, any comments this evening?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. First, I want to say that Director Wellendorf is
Modest?
modest. Thank you. It's been a long day. Very modest. I've been through a number of transitions of payroll systems, and this was the first one that I've ever seen like this, which is relentless. So I know that she and Nicole work day and night getting it done, and I just want to recommend them on a job well done. Other than that, in HR, we're working on some audits ourselves. IMF, we are getting ready to roll out an audit of our employee benefits enrollments, also revising and updating some policies, and now that payroll is in a great spot, we'll start the work of introducing the Paylocity HR module, which should help streamline things, help us do better record keeping. So everything's going well, and I welcome any questions.
All right. Thank you, Director Mason. Commissioner Frierson.
I'll just echo the thank you for the leadership in the city. The storm was pretty bad throughout the city, a lot of power outages, and just a whole lot going on. So I know that is, something that's pressing and taxing on, a job that's already overloaded a lot of times. So that does not go unnoticed. And thank you all, and thank you for the residents for coming out and sharing with us. And hopefully we can rise to the level and get your questions answered and continue to be better and do better. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Frierson. Commissioner Stackhouse.
No, I don't have anything. Just want to thank everybody also for coming out tonight. It's good to see you all.
All right. Commissioner Fisher.
No, I would just second Commissioner Frierson's comments. Thanks everybody for your hard work, and so we clean up and we move on to the next project.
Yeah. I will echo the comments from our commissioners and our staff. Just to thank Mr. Hester, Mr. Hudson, and Mr. Jones, and Mary Lou Hildebrand for coming out and letting us know what your thought process is if there are issues. As a city, as any entity, we don't always handle things perfectly. And the way that we can correct anything that's happening is to be able to have input from our residents. And when we get that input, we do work as a staff on a regular basis through our department head meetings, which we have every week, to talk about the issues that you bring here to council and try to come up with resolutions that make everybody somewhat appeased, because one of the things you find out in local government or in anything, you can't please everyone, but we work really hard to listen to what you have to say. So thank you for your input and for coming out. In terms of the storm, I talked about this, did I talk about it at the last city council meeting, or we hadn't had the storm yet? It was bad, and I was out with the public works crew a little bit, just going around the city. We had 9,100 homes without power, some with, during a 12-hour period. And as soon as the power goes off, what our residents need to know, we have a rep with ComEd that right away, if the power's out for an hour, I'm calling right away to see what's going on, to see what kind of response time or what's the issue. And I did post something on Facebook page with some of our Facebook page with some of the trees that were down and comments from some of our residents that our public works staff, very small staff in terms of removing the debris from the private, from the main areas like Sheridan Rd, where there was a tree that fell in, right across from the cemetery. So again, Director Ransom, your crew just did a terrific job, and I've heard a lot of comments from residents as I was riding around and talking about the issues, and of course, keeping you abreast of things that I saw. So just thank your staff tremendously for the hard work that they do. Other than that, I'll move on to announcements. August 15th and 16th at Zinnia and Monarch Festival in Bees 2. That's been something that we've had for the last several years. It's a nice event. It usually takes place on, was that Shiloh Boulevard, right across from the post office. A lot of vendors out, people are out enjoying music and food and just enjoying the city. And again, our cleanup day moved from August 1st to August 15th as a result of the weather. 28th in Galilee, you can bring tires and electronics and some of the items you've been trying to get rid of out of your basement or your garage, which we all have stored up. That's something we've been doing for the last probably 6 to 8 years, at least 6 years. I think we had to take a couple of years off with the pandemic, but to try to make sure that our city stays beautified, because at one point there was a lot of debris in the alley, and once the garbage was moved from the alleys to the street, which the change affected some people, impacted some people, but our alleys have been much cleaner as a result, and our city looks better. So August 15th, Zion Cleanup Day, 8 to noon, 28th and Galilee. August 18th at 6 p.m., Zion Township Board meeting at 6 o'clock, followed by a City Council meeting, Zion City Council meeting at 7 p.m. So, Mr. Jones, Zion City Council meetings are held the first and third Tuesday of every month. And the Zion Township meeting is held the second, the same time as the second City Council meeting at 6 prior to our Zion City Council meeting, and that's usually on the website. But again, it wasn't updated, so sorry for the confusion. And thanks for letting us know about that. August 22nd, there's another food pantry happening at Zion Benton East High School. Starts at 10 o'clock. That's been a very successful event with things in the economy as they've been. We've got a lot of entities here, churches and different entities that have food pantries throughout the city. And that one again at Zion Benton East, which is on 23rd and Bethesda and Esco right there. So if you want to help and volunteer, you can talk to Mary Lou Hildebrand back there. Mary Lou, you want to raise your hand in the back, and she will get you involved. September 1st at 7 o'clock at 7 p.m., Zion City Council. That is the first third Tuesday of every month. Also on the first Tuesday of the month, we also have the sirens. So if you hear the sirens, they're just testing them to make sure that they work, the emergency sirens, and in the event that we have or tornado that comes through town or some weather event. And on September 7th, which is Monday, the city offices are closed for the holiday, and we also have our Labor Day parade, which is one of the biggest events in Lake County, where people come from all over the county and sometimes even from Wisconsin to come down and enjoy our Labor Day. So come out and enjoy yourselves. We don't have a closed session tonight, which was item 12. And so I moved to item 13, which everyone on the council doesn't like. Is there a motion to adjourn? So moved. Motion by
Second.
Frierson.
Second.
Second by Stackhouse. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Stackhouse?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 4-0. Thank you for coming out, and be safe, and thank you again for coming out with your concerns.
Yeah, it's been a long